Hello. I was listening today, I was reviewing a program of a trainer of mine that I love and respect a lot. And at one moment in time, he got to a point where he was teaching us a technique. And that hit a hot point for me because that's a hot subject for me in a way. You see, techniques are in big demand today. Everybody wants a technique from how to make people buy or how to make people do something for them or behave in a particular way, or even techniques about themselves, how to help you get rid of your anxiety or deal with your fear about something. And it's is that we want to be free of those things, but we get into the trap of becoming addicted. Basically, it's like falling in love and addicted with those techniques. We cannot live without them. We always instinctively we're looking for techniques because that's what the self-help literature taught us for the last, I don't know, 50, 100 years. You see, you want to grow your business, let's say. So what you do, you're looking for sales techniques or tactics to marketing tactics or stuff like that. Or let's say you want a romantic partner. So you're looking for techniques on how to make them fall in love with you or how to make them like you or stuff. You know very well there are programs about that, a bunch of them. Let's say you have a conflict at work and you're looking for conflict management things or what's the right thing to say or the right thing to do or things like this. Or again, if you feel anxiety about a particular aspect, a particular situation, let's say you want to make a phone call, you're looking for ways, techniques to get rid of that anxiety. Now I'm inviting you to think of this for a moment. Some years ago I had a surgery and as a result my walking was impaired. So I had to use some helpers to help me walk. I've been in the wheelchair, I use the walker, I use the cane, and now I'm using even that less and less. Thank God. So that's a good thing. But here's the question. If I were to ask you, why would I use a cane? Why would I think about using a cane? What would you answer? What would be your answer? Think of that for a moment. Why would I use a cane? What's the first thing that comes to mind? For me, for instance, for a long time it was pretty much what I presume it is in your mind too, to help me get from here to there, right? To help me walk. And I lived with that understanding for years up until, I don't know, a while ago. And it hit me because, how should I put it? Yes, I wanted to get from this point, from point A to point B. But that came before helping me to get from this point over there, from here to there. That came basically, it helped me maintain the balance of my body. That's basically what it did. Because once I had the balance of the body, I could go anywhere, not only there. You see, so my problem was not getting from here to there, but the problem really was having the balance of the mind secured. And the cane helped me do exactly that. So what if it is the same thing, that the same misunderstanding that makes us addicted to the techniques, the belief that actually the technique it is to make them buy or to make them fall in love with us or to make my fear go away. You see, what if we miss the fact that in doing that technique, whatever that technique, that helping technique might be, in doing that technique, we actually become witnesses, observers of the process, observers of what happens. You see, that process of, let's say, the process of that sales interaction or that date, or even how we create that anxiety that we suffer at one moment in time. So what if in doing that technique, we pay attention, we pay more attention, and we become more aware. And in doing so, we become more connected to ourselves and to the situation, to the person in front of us. We're looking at the situation instead of looking through it. We become more balanced as a mind. We slow down and we become more balanced as a mind. What if actually this is what happens when we do the technique? And when that happens, when that connection happens, the energy that springs from that connection and presence opens up possibilities which are more aligned with the natural order of things, exactly because of that connection that exists. Think of this. When my body is imbalanced, at 45 degrees, let's say, the principle of gravity passing through it will only always tend to increase that incline, tend to increase that imbalance. And as long as my body remains imbalanced, even if I use the cane, my movement will remain impaired. However, the moment when my body regains its balance, now the possibility for me to reach from here to there increases. And what if it is the same with our minds? When my mind is imbalanced, let's say, when my mind is imbalanced, the principle of thought passing through me will only tend to imbalance that mind even more. Have you noticed that when you're angry and upset, everything and everybody around you, it is upsetting and unnerving? Have you noticed that? So when my mind is imbalanced, the principle of thought will going to increase or only increase that balance even more. And no matter what technique I'm using, as long as my mind is imbalanced, that technique won't work. Or even if I force it to work, it will be full of frustration. It will not be in harmony. You know those situations. However, when I allow myself to become present, when I'm witnessing the process, when I just let go and become connected, even playful in a way, or to use the same words, when my mind becomes balanced, when my mind and soul becomes balanced, now all of a sudden things seem to happen the right way all by themselves. And I know this is a common situation because everybody I talked with, they could relate to that. The more they were holding on and they needed a particular outcome to happen and they forcing the situation to unfold in a particular way, the more the desired result would be further and further away. And the moment they just got tired of it and let go, and they were just, doing the things without being attached to a particular result, that's when actually their intention came to existence. Everybody I talked with could relate to this. So, in this sense, the question that probably comes to mind is, am I advocating ban the techniques, forget about the techniques, or am I saying that the techniques are bad in and of themselves and they should be dismissed altogether? Not at all. What I'm inviting you to contemplate, it is the fact that just as realizing that the purpose of the cane was not to get me from here to there, but the real purpose was to help me hold my body into balance. I'm inviting you to play and contemplate the possibility of the understanding that the purpose of the technique is not to make them do something, not even to make you get rid of that feeling that you don't like. But the purpose of the technique is to get your mind into a position of balance. And it's pretty much like detaching yourself from the situation. But the point is not to detach. You see, because the question is, when you're detaching, what are you attaching to when you're not no longer attached to your ego? You see, the miracle that happens when you're detaching yourself, when you're looking at the situation rather than identifying with the situation and taking it personally and becoming needy of a particular outcome to unfold for you, the miracle that happens in that moment is that you connect with your true self, with your higher self. And that's presence, that's connection, that's grounding, that's authenticity, however you want to call it. That's being in the flow, however you want to call it. I wrote somewhere that we always behave in coherence with our understanding of how things work. So I'm inviting you to focus on deepening your understanding. And when that happens, the right thing for you to do, or the most effective things for you to do, will become obvious. Obvious, and it will be entirely adapted to the context in which you're in that moment in time. I really wanted to record this tonight, and I know it got a little bit longer, but I really believe it is important. I'm going to even put a webinar in the next month or so. I'm going to let you know when that happens, because I believe it's really relevant for us to become free of this addiction to techniques. We want to be free of the feelings of anxiety, to be free of, achieving whatever we want, and to do that in a harmonious way. But we inadvertently become addicted, and we fall into that trap of needing a technique for that. And again, I'm not saying that techniques are bad, but I'm inviting you to see them for what they are. I'm going to let you know when I'm going to put together that webinar. I'm trying to organize that information as understandable as possible in such a short period of time, like an hour or so. But until then, I'm inviting you to give me your comments about that, and they're going to help me organize that webinar even better. Until then, take good care. Have a good night.